What's up guys, Nation here, and before I start the video, I'm just going to say this video is based off of Lego Boy 3's video, so if you want to see that, link will be in the description, and there will be an end card at the end of the video where you can click on. And make sure you know Pyraminx notation before you start this video. If you don't know, you can just look at the video and just copy my movements, but it should be pretty intuitive if you know how to solve a 3x3. And yeah, make sure you know how to solve a 3x3. That's what I recommend. So enjoy the video. What is up guys, it's Nation here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solve the Pyraminx with the layer by layer method. So the layer by layer method is probably going to be the easiest and the first method you're going to learn, but actually the first method I learned was the KeyHole method. So if you want to learn the KeyHole method, the link will be down in the description, or there should be a card up here, but yeah, so if you somehow didn't get the KeyHole method, then this is the tutorial for you. So yeah, let's begin. So as the method suggests, we're going to be solving the Pyraminx layer by layer. So we're going to start from the bottom layer, then we're going to move up to the top. Of course, the top, we just need to move this small triangle to where it matches. So green here, blue, blue, red, red. But that's not that important. You can do that as the last step. But first off, let's create the bottom layer. So it doesn't matter where you put your Pyraminx, just okay, I'm gonna set it like this, and we are going to be completing this bottom layer. Okay, so before I even continue, I have to show you that these three, so this red piece, this blue, this green, these pieces are the center pieces. Okay, so what we want to do is at the bottom of our cube, so if we hold it like this and we're trying to solve this layer, if we look at the bottom, we have to look at these three center pieces, okay? And we want to match these colors. So if we look around, I can see that if I move the pieces like this, all the reds match up, okay? But let's say, hey, there's a blue here, and I want to make all of these centers blue. But if I put this blue down here, that puts one more. But if we look at this section, there's no blue center around it. That means this side cannot be the blue side. But if we look around, we have a red piece here, so we can put that down. And we have a red piece here, we can put that down, and a red piece is here. So that means this bottom side can be red. So, and that's what I'm going to label it as. So, moving on to the next step. In the next step, we're just going to move all these corner or tips, and then we are going to finish this first layer. So, once you connected all your center pieces, so actually connecting these center pieces are pretty intuitive, so if you're having trouble with that, just keep on trying and you'll eventually get it. But afterwards, we want to fit in, hang on, to make it easier to see, we want to fit in these three colors and match it with the reds and actually finish one layer. Okay, so let's put in this this edge piece first. Okay, so if we look at this layer, we can see that if we need to put it in here, the green is on this side, so that means we need to put the red down here with the red green edge. So if we try and find the red-green edge, the red-green edge is right over here. And if we look at it, it's on the layer that we are trying to put it in. So I actually recommend you know how to solve a 3x3 before this. But if it's down here and we're trying to put it here, we want to move it up, move it away, and move this back down. So the edge is going to be on the top layer now. So that means now we can put this edge piece inside where we're supposed to put it in, okay? So if we are trying to put this red down here, we want to make sure it's away. So if this red, where it's supposed to go here, is on the left side, we want to move it to the right. Move this piece up, since we're supposed to put this edge in here, move that up. And then move this back, and move this down. So if we do that, that actually puts in that edge piece where it belongs, okay? So I'll show you another example, but let's say we want to put in this edge piece. This is, we need to put in a red, and then as you can see here, a yellow. So if we try and find a red, yellow, it's right over here, okay? So we want to make sure the red is facing us. And we can see that the red is on the right side, okay? So if it's on the right side, we want to move it to the left. Move this piece where it belongs, so this needs to go in here, so move this to the left. Move the piece where it's supposed to go in, move it up, so it needs to go in here. And then move this back to the right, and move this down. And then we can see that the edge actually goes where it belongs, okay? Let's do the final one. So we need to find a red and a blue layer. So if we can see, there's a blue red edge here. So if we make sure the red is facing us, we can see that it's on the left side. So because the red is on the left side facing us, we need to move this to the right, move this piece up, move this back, and move it down. So if we look at this and we move this to the right, but we actually move this, if we move this edge up this way, we can see that the edge that this is supposed to go in is down here. So that means we can't connect it there. But if we move this to the right and we actually lift this piece up with our left hand and move it up, we can see that the piece is still here and we can connect it that way and then move it down. So if you manage to follow those steps, we should be able to complete the first layer. So let's move on. So when we finish the first layer, and once again, if you have trouble with it, please comment down below and I'll try and explain it for you. But when we're done with the first layer, we'll now have to finish the second layer. And once we finish the second layer, we're basically done. Okay? There's several cases to this, but it's pretty easy to memorize, okay? So in this case, if we look over here, we have an edge that already matches with these two centers, okay? So there's a green yellow, and then it matches already with these two green yellows. So if that's the case, you want to actually turn this and make it match the actual entire side. And then these two edges will not be fixed. Now, if you look at this closely, you can see that if this edge is flipped, it will match. And if these edges are flipped, it will actually solve this entire Pyraminx. So you want to make sure that the two unsolved edges are facing you, and you want to do this algorithm. L, R prime, L prime, R, U prime, R, U, R prime. And then if you had that exact case, then the Pyraminx should be solved. So in this case, we can see that there are headlights, and let's say it doesn't matter how we hold the Pyraminx. I'm just gonna hold it like this. If we look at the headlights, we can see that these are yellow headlights. So we have to tell ourselves, which way do these need to go? Do these need to turn counterclockwise, so this way, or do they need to turn clockwise, this way? So in this case, these yellows need to move this way, so counterclockwise. And so if these yellows need to go counterclockwise, so that way, then we need to do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R. Sorry, R prime. So if you got that case and you do that algorithm, you should be able to solve it. Okay, so in this case, it's basically what we just did, but it's actually reversed. So this actually needs to go clockwise. So these yellows needs to go clockwise here, blue needs to go here, red needs to go here. And for the algorithm for that is R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. And once you do that, that should solve it. Okay, in this case, this is more of a weird case, but basically, all three of these edges are just in a weird position, okay? So, okay, let's just look at this Pyraminx, and this piece is more, like, it's a bit more different compared to these two edges, okay? So, this edge, if you see here, it's a green and a blue, okay? This side's a red, and this side's a green, okay? and this green is on the red side, so these colors don't match, and this blue is on the green side, so these colors don't match. But if you look at the other edges, this is a red, but it's on the green side, so that doesn't match. But here, it's a blue, and it's on the blue side, so it does match. And on this one, the green, it doesn't match, but the red, it does match. So this edge is the only one that doesn't match compared to the other edges, okay? So you want to put this unmatched edge at the back, and if you look at here, there's one side that actually has an entire like full colored side, and there's one that is still like not completed, okay? So if the full colored side here is on the left, you want to do the algorithm R prime, U prime, L prime, U, L, R. And then that will fix this Pyraminx. Okay, so here's the other case. It's basically the same thing as the previous one, but just, what do you call that? Yeah, inversed or reversed, okay? Oh yeah, make sure when you do these cases that the centers actually match up with its designated color. So blue, 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 green, 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 yellow, 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 or else it's going to be super hard to identify the cases, okay? So once again, let's find the odd one out in these edges. We can see it's this one, so there's no blue here, no green here, but on this one, there's a blue here, and there is a yellow here. So we want to put the odd one out at the back, and we can see that the colored one is on the right, okay? And this one's green, and these are blue, so the colored blue ones are on the right. So we want to do the algorithm L, U, R, U prime, R prime, L prime, okay? And then you should solve it. So yeah, we're basically done. Oh yeah, and remember, when you do the algorithm, the tip might just not be solved, so make sure you just turn that, but I'm pretty sure you already knew that. But yeah, that's basically how to solve the Pyraminx layer by layer method. That might be kind of confusing, but really it's not. And if you just want to learn something quicker, you can just do the KeyHole method, and remember, links down in the description. Yeah. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Cube Nation,